What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Prep Rally Podcast, your go-to huddle for high school sports action in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. I'm your host, Sydney Ruth Mulannon.
I'm Graham Thomas. Leland Barclay joins us in the River Valley. We've got hype. We've got the highlights in our Gimme 5 and Top 5, where we count down the top athletes of the week from the Northwest Arkansas and River Valley Democrat-Gazette.
Whether you're listening on the way to practice or sitting in the stands, we've got something for every high school sports fan. Let's kick it off with this week's biggest wins and wildest finishes as we reel it back. Welcome back to Prep Rally. Let's reel it back, you guys. Recap.
Oh, what a week, Sydney! I'm telling you, we're just gonna jump right into it. We got a lot to cover here, so We're gonna start with Bentonville West. I mean, they were out of the story of last Friday night. I think I think we all thought that Bentonville West could beat Fayetteville. I don't think any of us imagined that Bentonville West would dominate Fayetteville the way they did.
I mean, with 5 turnovers, I was kind of shocked at that myself. But
definitely. You have 5 turnovers. That's a tough way to win. Bentonville West. So what a great win for them. Coach Brian Pratt. You guys just did that great prep rally road trip on Bentonville West, and out now on the Democrat-Gazette YouTube page and also our Prep Rally Sports Facebook page. So go check it out. What a great time, though, for Bentonville West to get a signature win like that over Fayetteville. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised they won. Leland, I don't know where you stood on this one, because I think you've always liked Bentonville West this year too.
I think Tre Thompson, we've talked about him several times. I think he was probably the most underrated quarterback in the conference. He's not anymore after throwing for 179 yards and a touchdown, running for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think everybody knows who Tre Thompson is in the conference now. So it's and like you said, I wasn't shocked that Bentonville West won. I was shocked at the final score, because every time I was watching updates and stuff, it was like, wow, Bentonville West has scored again. And then to return 2 fumbles for touchdowns. Anytime you get a team gets 2 defensive touchdowns. Wow, what a performance by Bentonville West on Friday night.
I do want to give some condolences out there. Braden Nash, I don't know how many people know this, but the West lost him for the year with an injury, and we really feel for him. He's a good kid. He was a real big part of what they do. We know he'll be with them the rest of the way, in support, but just a tough luck injury for Braden Nash.
Yeah. I will say, to just finish this off, but I mean, when we spent time with the team in the interviews for our road trip video, this team just has a newfound confidence this year, and I think it's great to see compared to last year's.
Well, and we've got some video of Tre Thompson and Coach Brian Pratt that we'd like to show you.
I know you've got to be smiling from ear to ear, like the cat that ate the canary, about the way your defense played tonight.
Yeah, I think we've really worked all season trying to be, play well defensively. And, all through these games we've been flying to the football. And I think that's the whole, if you come to one of our practices, our coaches are on these kids every day about getting to the football, getting 11 hats around the ball every day, being sound, being disciplined, doing what we're supposed to do. And it just shows that being physical, what a year of off-season will do, because these are the exact same kids that last year got Mercy Road over there. So, and it wasn't any move-ins or anybody like that. It's the same kids we had. And we're just better because they bought into what we do, and they bought into the culture of West. And right now we're just got to get better every week and not let the rat poison go to our head because we beat somebody at home. So next guy up, the most important game is next week against Springdale. And, in 7A West, there's 4 teams that's undefeated, and we're one of them. Got to make it chewing on next week.
5 turnovers. The first 2, you converted them into points. The last 2, you made points.
Yeah, and Coach Thompson actually said, Coach, man, we played a lot of snaps on defense, and I'm like, well, quit scoring, because if you score a defense touchdown, you go right back out there. And so I really am proud of the way our defense played. Just our team in general. We had some stuff going on in the off season or the dead week or the off week that, we had to make sure that we took care of us, and that's what we tried to do, and obviously come out and played really well.
Yeah, now here's another one for you. When was the last time you had 2 100-yard rushers in the same game?
I don't know if we had that in a while, but Tre's pretty special. I hate that for Braden Nash, who's one of our leaders, and getting injured like that with his Achilles. But we hope for the best for him, and he's still a huge part of our team. And that's why I just told the kids that you never know, but you need to play every one of them like it's your last, because you never know.
All right. Well, there are other games in the 7A West, and now we're not going to spend a lot of time on these. These were all blowouts, but Bentonville handled Springdale Harbor pretty handily in the Aaron Dannenhauer Bowl, going up against his own old teammates.
Is that what we're calling it now? The Dannenhauer Bowl.
The Dannenhauer Bowl. I was at Springdale at Rogers Heritage. It was homecoming at Heritage, and Springdale. Wilder, Larisi, and Ransel Oriana just ran wild all over Heritage in a 33-7 win. And then, my goodness, Rogers was all over Fort Smith Northside. It was a mercy rule at the half. A lot of bigger games down the road for these teams, including this week. So Leland had Greenwood and Shiloh Christian. And we'll just turn it over to Leland for this segment because he was there for a very competitive ball game between those two.
And wow, what an atmosphere. We haven't even finished September yet, but it kind of had that playoff type atmosphere, even a state championship game type atmosphere. Of course, these two teams played for the state title last year in Class 6A. Shiloh Christian's first year up in Class 6A and played for a state title. And in the capsules last week, we touched on the fact that Shiloh Christian has now played in a state championship game in Class 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, and 2A. So what an amazing program that they put together. Greenwood, of course, 12 state championships, more than anybody in the modern playoff era, and what an atmosphere. The first half, Shiloh Christian scored, Greenwood scored. Shiloh Christian scored, Greenwood scored. Shiloh Christian scored, Greenwood answered every time. It's 21-18, and it was big that Charlie Hudnall for Greenwood blocked the extra point after Shiloh Christian's first touchdown. And so Shiloh Christian kind of chased points the rest of the night. They scored 4 touchdowns on the night. Greenwood scored 5, but Greenwood, had a 2-possession lead most of the second half. DJ Dobbins, and we have the video on him, had a huge interception in the third quarter that really turned the tide. Greenwood was up 35 they were up 28-18. Shiloh Christian put together a 12-play drive and was driving about to score. And DJ Dobbins intercepted a pass. Greenwood goes down and scores, goes up 35-18, and it was the ball game at that point. And we have an interview with DJ Dobbins about what he was seeing on that play and kind of how they had prepared for that route all week.
What were you looking for? Just take me through the play, what you saw.
All week we have been preparing for the comeback, and I have been calling it all week that I was gonna get a pick, and I'm blessed to get a pick finally. I knew they were just gonna keep running the comebacks until I intercepted it. So that's exactly what I did. That's just how it went.
How neat is it to have a play like that really kind of turned the game?
I think it hyped everyone up. I got the dunk on the goal. We just got that. That was used to hype all the players up. And I like seeing all my teammates hyped up, and I'm blessed to be the one to hype everyone up.
Also, y'all, I think I want to give a little credit back to Bentonville West. I remember the first game of the season, Greenwood versus Bentonville West. A lot of people had Greenwood dominating Bentonville West, but I think when you look back at that game and how competitive it was to where Bentonville West is now, they're a pretty good team.
Yeah. So no doubt about that. The cream rises to the top, so to speak. So we'll definitely follow Bentonville West and Greenwood and, well, all of them for that matter, Sydney.
Your teams, my teams.
Hey, they're our
teams.
So let's mention a couple more here. How about a big win for Harrison at Alma? I think all of us thought maybe Alma would win this game. Not at all. No. Harrison with a big win, and we'll talk more about the Goblins and our player of the week, Gavin Jones, from Harrison. Van Buren with a huge win at home against Russellville. The Pointers have got to go on the road this week, but what a shootout that was! And I tell you, just a lot of really good wins for these teams. Leland, I thought the Van Buren one was really big though, because you get into a shootout like that with an 0-4 Russellville team, and I mean, you lose that one, you never know which way things can go. But they won it, and big offensive night for Van Buren.
Well, in all these conferences, of course, starting off 1-0 is gigantic. Van Buren, especially playing at home. Teams don't want to lose that first one at home. But a big win, tied 42-42. They go on a 90-yard drive, and then they get a defensive stop and win a 49-42 game. A lot of offense in the game, over 1,000 yards. Van Buren 550 yards. And we'll talk a little bit more about Hayden Williford and Hayden Christenberry and of course, Austin Riggs. All three of them had big games. Torrey Wilford, another receiver for Van Buren, also had a big game with a 58-yard touchdown pass. So a lot of weapons on the field on Friday night and a big win for Van Buren.
Some really good articles in the paper the last couple of days by Harold McIlvain. He did a nice feature on Austin Riggs. He had the game story from Van Buren Russellville, then the follow-up in the Sunday paper. Just a lot of good stuff on Van Buren. So just wanted to mention those two wins. I mean, obviously there were a lot of great wins. You can see them, the content in our newspapers. But man, it was just a great Friday night of football, Sydney.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, before we go into commercial, we want to thank our sponsors for this video, West Termite. Take control of your pests with West. Whether it's termites, mosquitoes, bedbugs, weeds, or lawn disease, West has the experience serving Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma since 2003. Book your free consultation online today at westtermite.com. After all, West knows pests best.
Yes.
Yeah, good job. All right, welcome back. Let's look ahead at some of the matches and make some predictions for this week.
Oh, Lordy. So I don't know how we're going to do this in 8 minutes.
I feel like I'll have a better time this week picking than last week. Last week was tough.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was a tough week for everybody. So, well, let's look ahead to this week. The big games in Northwest Arkansas, there's about 3 of them that I really want to hit on. So we'll start in the 7A West. Rogers, undefeated Rogers, is playing at a Fayetteville team that they're a little bit down right now. They're the loss at Texarkana, Texas, and then the stunning loss at Bentonville West. They're back at home. Leland, I'm just telling you, Fayetteville at home is a different beast, and they're going to have a really good Rogers team coming in there. It seems like every time these two play, it's high scoring, a lot of points. A lot of big plays. Rogers and eyelash of beating them the last couple of years. So that's a big one. And then Bentonville West going on the road to Springdale. There's a little bit of payback involved in this one. Springdale beat Bentonville West last year. It's the first time Springdale had ever done that. Really good Springdale team, too. And I think Bentonville West got a little bit of payback on their mind heading into this week. So Leland, 7A West, big games there.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Fayetteville at home and to go 0-2. I mean, that's tough, but 2 fantastic quarterbacks in this one. Of course, Rogers is, led by Jeff Regan. Braxton Lindsay, one of the best athletes in the conference, maybe the best athlete in the conference. That one's going to be tough. I don't see a letdown from Bentonville West, though. I think they go to Springdale and handle it pretty well, but the big thing in that game is the number of possessions. If Springdale is able to run the ball and they have 54 rushing attempts like they do a lot of times, that creates a sense of urgency on the offense of the opposing teams that they have to make their possessions count. But I think West is just that good this year.
In the 6A West, there's some big ones too. We're not even going to really hit on Greenwood at Russellville or Van Buren at Siloam Springs. But Lake Hamilton at Southside, that's a big one for Coach Dameron and the Mavericks. Lake Hamilton really thumped Siloam Springs pretty good at home last week. So, they're coming in with a lot of confidence, and they put 53 points up. Southside's kind of got to get back on the bump a little bit. And then Mountain Home making the trip over to Shiloh Christian, a really good Mountain Home team, undefeated. And Shiloh is sitting there 2-2, but it's at Shiloh Christian, and they've got a great home field advantage.
Well, and Shiloh Christian is they're still pretty beat up. I mean, it looked like a mash unit on Friday night on both sidelines, Greenwood sidelines and Shiloh Christian sidelines. And Mountain Home is very good. Brantley Phillips is, certainly one of the best quarterbacks in the conference and a returning starter, a veteran. And they've got a lot of momentum after last week and after last year and really the last several years. So that's a tough matchup as well.
And did you want to say anything about Southside and Lake Hamilton?
I don't see Southside returning home and going 0-2. There was an interception, a turnover that kind of turned that game at Mountain Home last week. I think Southside's able to bounce back, in this game, even though it's, Lake Hamilton has kind of, they have found a passing game
I know.
this year,
Yeah, it's wild.
which kind of makes them a different animal. But I think Southside bounces back this week.
A couple more we're going to look at in the 5A West. Farmington, our Farmington Cardinals. Aiden Lester's back, y'all. But they're making the trip over to Harrison on Friday to, tangle with a Harrison team that came off a really big win at Alma. And boy, then the big one in the River Valley. Charleston at Mansfield. I mean, we could spend a whole show on that one, Leland.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to be you talk about a great atmosphere. That's going to be one this year at Mansfield. They get them at home. Last year we kind of felt like Mansfield and Boonville were the two best teams in the conference, and that's kind of the way it played out. Charleston's looking very good this year, as well as Mansfield. And, of course, Boonville's standing there, they're sitting there too with their arm up saying, don't forget about us just yet.
Yeah,
and all three of them took care of business on Friday night. This past Friday night was kind of a warm-up in the 3A1 for the first of three gigantic games in the 3A West, and that's Charleston and Mansfield this week.
Boonville is over there just laying in the weeds, being like, y'all just keep on, and we're just going to keep getting better. So, all right, well that's go ahead, Sydney.
Yeah, well, with that being said, let's pick some teams.
Yeah, let's who you got. Well, Leland's already given away like half his.
Yeah,
so
that's
Leland,
true.
He did not give away, though. Charleston at Mansfield, who you got?
I have picked Mansfield number 1 in Class 3A from the beginning of the season. Veteran offensive line, 5 guys coming back. Andrew Burton at fullback. He is just having a tremendous season. They're starting a sophomore quarterback, but last week he rushed for 100 yards. He threw a touchdown pass. He's kind of getting these feet under him as well. Mansfield has been tough defensively. The Orr brothers, leading a tremendous defense. I think Mansfield wins this game at home. Although it's a little bit scary, Carter Little's having a tremendous year, and the most inexperienced position on the field for Mansfield is the secondary. But I think Mansfield, prevails in this game, especially at home and in front of a great crowd.
Who you got, Sydney?
I'm picking Mansfield as well.
Who you got, Graham? I've got Charleston. I picked Charleston to win that league. You gotta win some big ones along the way to do that. I've got Charleston. I'll just stick with myself here on Lake Hamilton at Southside. I think that's a long way to go for Lake Hamilton to go and get a win. So give me Southside. Who you got?
Southside.
Leland's already said he thinks he likes Southside in that one.
Oh, absolutely. I just think this Southside team is too good to start off conference play 0-2. I think they rebound with a big win on Friday night.
Here's a fun one. Farmington at Harrison. Sydney, who you got?
Farmington.
Wow, making the trip over to Harrison. You just don't go to Harrison and win on the banks of Crooked Creek. Right, Leland?
Well, it's not the banks of Crooked Creek anymore. Now, I know when they moved stadiums, they tried to take some of that water with them. It's not the same. And I think this Farmington team is really good. And if anybody knows how to win at Harrison, it's Tom Tice.
Mm-hmm.
Farmington prevails.
Yep, Tommy Tyson. It's not the first time he's ever gone back to Harrison. He did that when he was at Huntsville too, I believe. So it's not like it's a new thing. But I'm gonna go with Farmington too. You know, they got Aiden Lester back. He had
Yeah.
a really nice night. I'll go Farmington. A couple more here. Leland Mountain Home at Shiloh Christian. Who you got?
Boy, this is a tough one. I just think, again, I don't see Shiloh Christian starting off 0-2. I know that Mountainburg won this, or Mountain Home won this game last year at Mountain Home. I just think Shiloh Christian is too good to start off 0-2, and I think Shiloh Christian wins the game.
I don't think Mountain Home won the game last year. I think Shiloh Christian handled them. We'll have to go back and check on that one. I'm pretty sure Shiloh Christian beat Mountain Home
You're
last
questioning the almanac?
Uh-oh. Well, based on my picks the last couple of weeks, I would check me too.
year. We'll go back and look for sure. He's got Shiloh Christian. So do I. Who you got, Sydney?
Oh, I wanted to pick Mountain Home at first, but I agree with Leland. I just don't see them going 0-2.
Yeah, that's and so then Rogers at Fayetteville. Sydney, what you think? Who you got?
Oh gosh, I think you'll need to come back to me. This is my hardest pick. Well, both of these teams are your teams, and you're the biggest Rogers stan ever. So
Wow. Actually, there is a guy who is, I'd say Johnny Rusher. He's the biggest Rogers fan ever. He had a van, like a mounting van. It was pretty cool back in the day. I tell you what, though, Sydney, you ready for this? I don't see Fayetteville losing 3 in a row. I
Okay.
just can't fathom that. So I'm going to take Fayetteville close. I think they're going to have a great week of practice this week
Yeah.
at Fayetteville. They've got some great athletes.
well,
I'll take Fayetteville by 1 over
then
Rogers.
I'll take Rogers. But in reality, I just think, they have Regan, Braxton, Lindsay, and I think that duo is gonna
No doubt.
do wonders at Fayetteville this Friday. So
No
I'm
doubt.
gonna go for Rogers.
Leland, what you think?
Man, this is the toughest game of the bunch that we're going to be picking. And I've picked Fayetteville to go to the championship game along with Bentonville and to be a semifinalist. I think Fayetteville wins at home at Harmon Field.
Right. Well, and look, on that one, I think that one could go either way. I mean, no one
Yeah.
will be surprised if Rogers wins and even scores a lot of points doing it, or vice versa with Fayetteville. I just can't see them going 0-3, but that's why they play it.
Yeah, that was a tough pick. I feel like these past 2 weeks have just been really tough on
They
picks.
only get tougher.
Which, by the way, we did all agree that we'd have like a top 5 ranking. Yeah,
Sydney's top 5 ranking.
I have one.
So you say we. I don't remember getting invited to the staff meeting to discuss this, so let's do it.
Well, our producer heard it, so that was the staff meeting. Okay, so number 5, or actually, I'll just do from 1 to 5.
Oh, no, you got to go 5 to 1.
No. I'll go 1 to 5. Because
Okay.
also too, now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot who I said for 4 and 5.
Oh, no.
But top 3 is number 1, I would say, is Greenwood. Number 2, I'd put Bentonville. Number 3, I'd put Bentonville West.
Wow.
I just think they're, like Leland was saying, Tre Thompson's very underrated. I just think they're a very underrated team. I think how they've been playing this year, they should be in that 3rd spot. 4 and 5. Diana, who did I say for that? I forgot.
Rogers?
Oh, yes. 4 is Rogers. And 5 is... We'll just say that's a bonus team. But I have a top 4.
All right. Well, I like the overall category you have there. You're linking multiple classifications together, so that's good.
Really, I think when I was thinking of these teams, I just couldn't believe that Bentonville West was, again, still so low. I think they're 6th right now. But, again, I just think they're playing some good competitive football. So,
It'll be interesting to see when the poll comes out later today where they're at.
Well, the poll came out earlier, I believe, and that's what I kind of based it off of. Like there's 6 now, and then
Oh, you're talking about the Democrat-Gazette's poll?
yes, I think
Okay.
so.
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many polls out there. Now we got the Sydney poll, so.
The Sydney top 3 or 5,
Sydney
depending on
poll.
the day. or maybe 4 and 2 bonuses. We don't know, depending on the day.
It's whatever it needs to be on that particular moment. That's how I view it.
But before we get into the Gimme 5 and top 5s, wanted to mention to everybody that the NWAOnline.com and River Valley Democrat-Gazette.com are the premier spots to get all the latest in high school sports. Additionally, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Prep Rally Pod, where we show interviews of players and lots of fun behind the scenes. So now let's take it away with the Gimme 5.
Yo, this is Sham Davis. This is River Valley. Gimme 5.
These are the top 5 performances in the River Valley from the past week, and it's all football this week. Number 5, Josh Honey, quarterback for Paris, in a 35-0 win over Danville. He completed 15 of 20 passes for 222 yards and 4 touchdowns. Number 4, the combination of Hayden Williford, a Van Buren quarterback, and Hayden Christenberry, Van Buren running back.
Hayden and
in
Hayden.
In a 49-42 win over Russellville, they combined for 506 yards and 6 touchdowns, with Williford throwing for 316 and 3, and Christenberry rushing for 190 yards and 3 touchdowns, as Van Buren started off 6A West play 1-0. Number 3, the biggest guy on the field on Friday night for Greenwood was 5'9", 155-pound running back Wesley Raggio, who had 20 carries for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 35-24 win over Shiloh Christian. And we had a video about him, and he's just he had a tremendous game on Friday night.
The football passing game, tell me, what was it like to have a big running game tonight, especially putting it in your hands?
Well, it felt good. Couldn't do it without the O-line. O-line just absolutely destroyed their D-line. We didn't have it was just not even close. Our O-line just absolutely got us to be able to run the ball.
The touchdown down on that end zone, 15-yard run, I think, boy, that was, you just weren't going to be tonight on that area.
I was going to get in the end zone, do it for my team.
How neat was it in this game like this? You know, everybody expected a wide open offense to kind of be the guy as running back and kind of a different game plan for you guys.
I mean, it felt good. I mean, Cham got hurt early in the game. You know, that's our guy. But, our O-line stepped up. Our O-line and Kane really stepped up. Kane's playing like a dog, so is our O-line. I mean, it just doesn't happen without them.
Number 2, Lavaca quarterback Dalton Mullenix, in a 28-20 win over Greenland, threw for 141 yards and a touchdown, rushed 19 times for 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. On defense, he had 7 tackles and intercepted a pass. Oh, and he also added 2 two-point conversion runs for a big win in Lavaca's 28-20 win over Greenland.
I see a golden arrow helmet over there, I think.
Absolutely. We promoted them to the shelf this week. And number 1, our River Valley Democrat player, our unit of the week, Greenwood's offensive line last week, which really, with Kane Archer hobbled, he didn't practice for 2 weeks after kind of tweaking a knee against Springdale Harbor, and he was limited as far as mobility. They kind of took it upon themselves to kind of just power the Bulldogs to the big 35-24 win over Shiloh Christian. Tackles Cody Taylor and Jackson Cepeda, guards Alex Vanderwalt and Hal Davis, and center Akia Fujibayashi. Also, the offensive line welcomed back the return of Landon Billy, who suffered an ACL injury in the state championship game last year. That was his first game back, so they were able to kind of rotate 6 guys in, keep them fresh against that Shiloh Christian defensive front, and a big game by Greenwood's offensive line on Friday night in that win.
I don't know that we've ever had an entire unit be the player of the week.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
pretty
think
cool.
so either.
I think that's the first one, but A lot of times I like to step out of the box a little bit.
We're breaking
You
down
know,
walls here.
No,
So
I absolutely agree
right.
with it, though. I think we should have more units in there. It's a team effort, anyways.
I'm all for it. All right, well, let's go to the Northwest Arkansas top 5 of the week.
My name's Jackson Pierce, and this is the NWA Top 5. Go Tigers!
And it is not all football here. So there. Hey, how about Emerson Rakoff of Farmington? So she had quite the week last week, and she was our Hogs Illustrated Prep Rally Athlete of the Week that we honored at our luncheon last week for the week that she'd had prior to that. But even last week, she had a great week. She had 35 kills against Rogers. 35.
Wow.
Follow that up the next night with 17 kills against Russellville. And then against Greenwood on Thursday, she had 26 kills as Farmington beat Greenwood. There's a huge volleyball match Tuesday night. Farmington and Shiloh Christian play for first place in the 5A West. So congrats to Emerson. We were happy to have her at our Hogs Illustrated luncheon last week. Number 4. Hey, how about the Prairie Grove Tigers? Got their first win of the year against Green Forest. Elijah Sugg of Prairie Grove rushed 12 times for 189 yards. I can do math. That's a lot of yards per carry. 3 touchdowns in the win. That's somewhere, that's a lot of yards. I can't do it in my head. It's a bunch. Number 3, I got to see Springdale High play at Rogers Heritage, and the dynamic duo of Wilder Larisi and Ransel Oriana of Springdale combined for 303 rushing yards. Larisi had 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oriana had 140 yards and a score. When Springdale gets that running game going, they're a load to handle. Our guys at Bentonville West, here they are again. Tre Thompson, 16 of 26 passing for 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Also 10 carries for 105 yards rushing. When you go triple digits on both of those as a quarterback, you've had a good day. VJ Warren, little guy. You talk about the little guy, Raggio. VJ Warren's a little guy, but boy, he's a good football player, a little sophomore. 18 carries for 105 yards rushing and a touchdown. He also caught a 45-yard reception, and he had a 49-yard kickoff return, which really spurred Bentonville West. So both those guys played a big role in that. And number 1, our Northwest Arkansas Player of the Week is Gavin Jones of Harrison. So on the road at Alma, you just don't go win at Alma. Alma's a tough place to go play and a wonderful place to go watch a football game, by the way. But Gavin passed for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. He completed 10 of 14. And he added 65 yards on the ground and a touchdown on just 11 carries as the Goblins made the trip down and beat Alma 41-13. So that is our top 5 of the week. And again, just like Leland says, a lot of tough decisions narrowing these down.
Mm-hmm. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show today, and I just want to mention again, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Prep Rally Pod, and also our Facebook at Prep Rally Podcast as well.
Go watch those Prep Rally road trips, y'all. Those are
Exactly.
really, really fun. You get a real inside look at a program. We appreciate all the access that Coach Young, Coach Dick, and Coach Pratt have all given us.
And stay tuned and make sure you're watching the road trips because we have rivalry week coming up soon and a big one. So stay tuned for those road trips. This is Prep Rally.